How does past trauma affect us? How does it affect our soul when we're children? And then we grow up and be adults. This is what we're going to talk about and address, and how Jesus can do it for you. Not just a cliche, he actually can. Come on. Hello, past trauma. We're going to use the text, Psalm 147, verse 3. And it says, He healeth the broken in heart, and he bindeth up their wounds. That word heart in this verse literally means our mind, our brain, or our soul. It's an all-in-one. It just means our soul. And our soul is our brain. The word bindeth literally means to rule over, take captive. When we think of past trauma, in our life and associate it to our brain being wounded from the trauma, it literally means that there's a psychological effect in our brain that has been marked and affected from this. Traumatic experiences, it can be an entry point for demons to use to enter and torment people. Some examples include, fearful accidents, victims of a crime, near-death experiences, death of a loved one, and witnessing violence. And of course, there's also, sexual violations. Relational betrayal and breakdowns can also be a door that the devil tries to use against people. And then can be abuse also. Demons gain access to people's lives because, they experience some type of abuse. Whether the abuse is, verbal, physical, emotional, sexual, or other. It brings wounds to the soul of a person, and it opens the door to the demons. In fact, when the trauma occurs, the demons come immediately, and the familiar spirits from your past, which have been assigned to you before birth, also can enter. There is a chemical process that happens in the brain when trauma occurs, but it happens within the biokinetic neurological structure of the entire peripheral and nervous system. In the Garden of Eden, when sin was committed and the serpent, he wrapped around the central nervous system, just like that of Adam and Eve. Well, the same thing happens with trauma, past trauma events. Doesn't matter if you were the victim or not. The devil doesn't give 2 cents about that. 1 Peter 5:8 says, Be sober, vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, he's like a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. When sexual abuse has taken place as a child, the child will have problems later in life trusting people and will have relationship issues because of all this. You might go from relationship to relationship, or you just can never get that real close relationship or intimacy with somebody. And if a woman has been sexually violated, she has a hard time trusting men, even if she's married. She just can't quite go all the way with the husband, emotional, and just connect like that. It could be like, even within a family member. And now that trust has been instantly removed. When the child has been violated, and as an older person, when there is sexual abuse involuntarily, the same scenario has taken place, only they kind of leave themselves in a vulnerable place to have the abuse happen. Nonetheless, in both scenarios, a transference from the abuser to the abused takes place, spiritually speaking. Meaning to say, the demons from the abuser have a legal right to enter the abused. Nobody said this is fair. Now, the abused person, grows up as an adult with not only the demons from the abuser, but also demons from just the situation itself. In SRA victims, sexual abuse can happen at a very early age, and after a while, it just becomes normal for them. As a normal way of life. That's just normal for them. And when they become older, a lot of these memories are placed in files within their brain, where normally, they're not accessed, and the person does not act or recall, even remember these memories. It's like before the age of 3, these memories can actually be stored right here in the intestines, where, they will even stay there as an older adult when the person, grows up. These traumatic experiences for SRA victims are layered upon each other in a very strategic way, trying to hide them from the abused or anybody else. When they get older, so the demons can remain in the person and virtually be undetectable. However, SRA victims, there's hope because there's a correct formula for removing all this. Often, as adults, when we look back at, painful events from our past, losses, hurts, rejections, violations, or being abused, we look at them, through adult lenses as an adult, normalizing them, while intellectually minimizing, the traumatic experience or experience is. And this makeshift strategy, so to speak, tricks us into thinking that the event had little impact on us when we ignore it and act like it was really not a big deal at all. And we may even tell people that we've moved on and forgiven the people, for these violations, and that everything's okay and great and wonderful, when in reality it's not, because deep down, you struggle. There's this bitterness, there's this anger that's residing in there, and it comes back to your mind, flashes back, and it may even haunt you in your dreams, may even haunt you in your daily life, and this anger and stuff will come back up, and talking to other people, all these feelings and emotions can come up. If Jesus hasn't healed it up, it hasn't been dealt with and properly healed, and you haven't been properly set free of it, the demons stay there forever until it is properly healed by Jesus. Jesus can heal these wounds. It doesn't mean you're going to just forget it all. No, you'll still remember it, but it's like this. Once Jesus heals these wounds and the demons are removed and the potential dissociation and altars have been healed with it, it's like it won't sting like it used to. It won't hurt like it used to. Won't be that big of a deal anymore. It's like, yeah, okay. And he can do that, and he can do it for you. Just like Psalm 147 verse 3 says, he'll come and he'll rule over that. He takes it from you. Isn't that cool? Okay, well, he'll deal that for you. God bless you. Have a great day.